Everything's recording, audio's on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're inside a recent update. I believe this came in update 1.36, the Maserati Mc20. We've used this previously at other circuits and it hasn't got a JB skin yet, but I'm sure it will do one day. It performed well for us at Kyoto Park, getting us into, I think it was just outside the lap requirement for the top 10 stars, but it was a decent performer there. Let's take a look at the setup. So against the PP target of 700 for the Le Mans race, it is 699.93 PP. It's on racing hard tyres, so you'd expect it to be doing potentially a one stop. But the way the rain works and with the configuration of the car to get the right power and fuel consumption, it's just not going to do it. So, usual mods, fully customizable suspension, nothing changed. Fully customizable diff, we haven't put it to 555. We might actually do that because it will give us better fuel consumption. There'll be less aggression out the corner. It'll act like it's in a higher gear. Downforce is 127,400, and with that we've got front lip, side skirts, no rear valance, but we do have a high rear wing with 20 end plates. ECU fully customizable, ballast and restrictor, nothing on it. Transmission manual at 340. Now that feels a bit long because it's got an 8-speed box, but with this we're going to be saving fuel as we get up to 7th gear, and we can knock it into 8th gear just to try and save us revs at the top end of the rev range on the long straights. Medium turbocharger, but I did make a big debate between that and the lightning of the car, but I chose to rebody the car and put the turbo on. Anti-lag is there, but it's off, so that's just an extra purchase. You shouldn't need to really do that. Intercooler at racing, air cleaner, silencer and exhaust manifold all racing, brake system, racing pads and brake controller all fitted, racing clutch and flywheel. Then we just have stroke up and polished ports to try and give us that better fuel economy. We probably could have gone to the titanium conrods and pistons in the extreme upgrades, but we ran out of PP. And then we've got the increased body rigidity installed because that normally reduces PP. Let's get to the track. And I need to buy the tyres. I had to say that to remind myself. So welcome to the World Touring Car 700s. We've just got to nip in and buy the tyres for the wet weather because we haven't done that as yet. Don't forget, it doesn't make sense. So settings for the race will be assists, traction control 1, default ABS. We have got ASM on and counter steer assistance on strong. Controller settings, now I always stumble over this, so bear with me. Controller steering sensitivity 5, force feedback max torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Yes. There isn't really a lot to say. I think it's going to be a decent car. I think it's going to be hampered by fuel economy, but let's see where we go. What's the weather report? The weather report doesn't really show a lot, does it? We'll let that time bar go along, and there's no dark stuff, no light stuff, no blue stuff, no green or yellow. In race time before the race, there's nothing. I'm guessing that isn't 100% working correctly at this time. Let's make a start. Let's go. First thing to do, fuel map to 6. Let's get stuck in. So we're going to chase down Mr. Bishop as we always do and try and take him on the outside rather than the inside. Here we go. And braking down for this corner. We're on hard tyres, so it's going to be particularly difficult to get it to stick into the front of the corner. Such a powerful car. It's 700 brake horsepower. And it just doesn't feel like it's got the go at this point. The track's heavy with fuel. We're off the circuit. We don't normally leave the circuit there. My word. But that's the penalty of running the hard tyres, I think. That was no penalty game there. So 13 seconds down, place 17, and we've got the fuel to do 2 laps. So it's gonna be a 3-stop race. Up into 9th place, braking at the usual marker. 8 speeds, it's a lot of gears to change down. And I think we've just picked up a penalty there for crossing that white line. Never good. We were lucky we did not get a penalty. I thought we would. Coming up to a group of cars, just got a brake, we're not going to get past. Oh, bumper cars. Damage on the front bumper. Mr. Lopez and Mr. Mendoza not really wanting to give up any track space there. Great light work from Mr. Healy. Let's get it up into 8th gear, save a bit of fuel. We're good on fuel at this time. It's a long way to break down from 8th gear down to 2nd. We're only 7 seconds off the lead. Now we know we've got confirmed fuel, we can flick to. We're going to actually put the brake balance to the front to try and help us with some turning. But we'll put it on the rain radar and see if we can see the rain coming. Because ideally we'll want rain before lap 2, or before the end of lap 2 at least. Feels like you're constantly changing down through the brakes on 8 speed box. And it does brake well once you get your foot on it, but it's such a long way through. Up into 3rd place then, only 4 seconds off the lead. Still got the best part of a quarter of a lap to do. And it's Mr. Blazan in the Suzuki Swift leading out Mr. Portilla, so this could be the first car that we're using that will finish leading the first lap. If we don't crash into any more walls, that is. To get around the lap. No, we're going to be in 2nd place by the looks of it. I don't think we're going to take Plaza. He says with a cheeky little overtake into the final corner. Oh, that was a move. And I don't think that was rude at all. So we are in 1st place before the end of lap 1. That rarely happens. This is going to be one of those races where we don't get to set a fastest lap because we won't actually complete a lap with a flight past on the start-finish line unless we can do it for the last lap. Pitting on lap 5 and 6 to make sure we just be pitting on 4 and 5 to make sure we get a flying lap on lap 7. That'll be the one that we need to do. Let's see what the rain brings, if there's any rain. There will be rain, surely. So we're in the lead by 2 seconds. Looking for the braking marker as we go into 8th gear. There it is. A right sweat on him. Working hard. taking on that first little marker on the right hand side. Something about that 555 rear, that diff mod is just, it works absolutely beautifully. I don't reckon I should be running ASM and counter steer with that 555 on. I don't really think I need it. We should have to do an experiment and see if it actually gives us any benefit over that 555. And here comes the rain, bottom left hand corner. It looks like perfectly timed for a pit stop onto wets. It's coming in quite a canter. And what do we do? Oh, we got really wide there. Even though we're on hard tyres, those rear tyres are taking a bit of a punishing. What is this rain gonna do? The options are very limited. We can't take another lap at sea. I think I'm gonna stay on the hard tyre looking at this. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get wet enough to make Inters the right tyre. Can't really tell from where I am. This is the tricky part of having a 3-stop with only hard tyres available. Is that big band of green there, but are we going to miss that? I have no idea. It's starting to pour now. I think we're going to take the wets. I have no idea where this is going, but so we're 15 seconds in the lead. I think we get the indicator. If they're going to go on past, that means I've made the mistake. That means I've made a mistake going to wets, because they've not pitted. Nobody has actually pitted, and I haven't gone to wets. That's got to be a monumental mistake. Mr. Lopez has pitted. Not a single other car has. Those people that are listening to the stream, this is a first time and I can actually hear you. So just for the audience, so you know, I'm actually doing this on a live stream as well, and there's a group of eager gentlemen who sat behind me on the PSN chat hoping to I make a magic pocket. Which I probably have. I'm down in 14th place. And they are all on. Nobody's pitted except for one guy. I've pitted and took the wet tyres, which is probably the wrong tyre for now, unless it absolutely buckets down. And they are starting to get cagey on the brakes. They really are. Oof. Wets are going to start to take a hammering if it doesn't get much wetter. But the rain's coming. As we get through this green bank of cloud, I haven't done so bad, but they've all yet to pit. I've pitted once. Oh, there's an incident ahead. We've got yellow flags. Oh yeah, they're all smashing into the wall at the end. I've left the circuit, gone sideways, overtaken his grips. Oh my lord. Am I going to get a penalty for that? And the rain keeps coming down. We're almost onto the preferred tyre. It looks like I've made the absolute sparkling choice to go to wets. It looks like I've timed that perfectly, and it looks like it's a total setup. But it was a complete fluke. Mr. Blazan in third place. Oh, look at that. Mr. Portilla goes head first into the wall and has to wait to rejoin the track. I have made the absolute blinder of a choice to go to the wet tyres. It's abusing your position there, Steve. Just got to brake easy here because of this final corner. It's a right slide. Whoa! So looking down at the rain radar, we are 12 seconds ahead. We're on the right tyre for the conditions almost. But as the track's going to dry out now, it's a question of whether we now go in and take the inters. They'll only last one lap, but they might be the right tyre. We're 24.5 seconds ahead, so we've probably got a pit stop in hand because they've still got to pit stop, and they're all going to pit stop at the end of this lap. Or I can push on these wets and probably end up a minute or so ahead, which is probably the right thing to do. We're going to go for the second lap on these wet tyres. And I've just missed the junction. Oh no, I'm going to get a penalty for that. Couldn't brake into that corner. Yeah, 2.5 seconds, but we're 44 seconds ahead. So it's the right thing to do. Just a little bit unsure of where to go. I don't know where the grip is on these wet tyres because it's not the preferred tyre at this time, but it is for me. Oh, slidey. And it looks like the rain cloud's going to run out, so we're onto a drying track on wet tyres. We're only on lap 4, so there's plenty of time in the race for it to rain again. Oh, we're going to pick up more time. That's going to be another second, maybe a second and a half, taking us to 4 seconds probably. We normally get a penalty for crossing that line. Mr. Gallo in second place has gone to the pits. Very lucky. And the helicopter's back out after the rain. Everybody's in the pits. We've got a 1 minute 28-second lead. So we've genuinely got the opportunity to break a free pit stop if we need to. It's such a long way to change down gears, it really is. Just keep increasing increasing that lead, it's just coming out. They really did struggle in the wet. We made the right call. I can't believe how good a call that was. Now, we've got to think about the next pit stop. We've got 1 lap of fuel, so we could potentially half a lap of fuel at the end of this. That'll just be the opportunity to save pit stop time. The track is drying out. But will it rain again? Do you know what we do? We talked about it at the start of the race. If we're looking to put a flying lap in on lap 7, if I do a 1 lap stint now on a set of inters, there's the opportunity to either change back to wets if it's going to rain hard, or we can change back to hards after the lap of inters. We've still only stopped 3 times. Let's just shed those 2.5 second penalties. 2 minutes 11 second lead. Do not know what's going on with these AI. They are extremely slow. Mr. Gallo is leading the pack. Oh, bounce off the wall. Yeah, so what are we going to do? Are we going to run a set of inters? Well, what we know is the in and out lap, the in and out from the pit stop, the pit lane exit, are all extremely wet. So I think the right thing to do is take 1 lap of inters. Depending on what happens with the weather, because these wets are really cooking now, we can run a 2 lap stint at the end and try and go for the fastest lap of the race, which we need to. We'll take inters, we'll fill up full, and then that will reduce our pit stop time at the end, won't it? Run out of drink, which isn't good. Did I not say? I didn't, did I? I meant hards, not inters at the end. Two minutes 26 back to Mr. Cookerbun, who's just overtaken Mr. Gallo. Got a cracked front headlight, which isn't great. No, it's just 2 laps, isn't it? 2.2. We'll take what we need. 1 lap and inters, it's very wet here. And then out on the track, it's all within. Oh, these inters are rubbish. They made some big changes to the tyre in an early update. I think it was update 1.31. The inters used to be the go-to tyre in any sort of semi conditions, and it's not, it's not the best tyre now. We just get the tyres in line there. So it looks like we've got some more cloud appearing from the bottom corner. It looks like it's going to rain again. This could throw an interesting mix to the race because the track is drying up and it looks like we're going to get wet. As we negotiate the fast chicane, we'll look into the rain radar to see actually what's going to happen. And there's an absolute cloud bank coming through. This is going to dash our chance at a fastest lap of the race, because we only came in for a single lap set of tyres, which is probably a mistake. Gow's very squirrely under slowing down. To negotiate through those blue spots, do you think? Is it going to be kind to us? Or is there going to be a massive bank of rain, bang smack in the middle of that cloud. We're going well too fast. Oh, it's raining. Here it comes. What we've got to hope for is that we negotiate through there and we can pit in and take a set of hard tyres. 1 minute 51 in the lead, so we can afford another pit stop. We've planned another pit stop. We could also afford an incident if we don't want one. Right, that's the end of the cloud bank as well then, so it looks like our plan can still be on if it doesn't rain massively. Now I'm not usually this lucky with the rain. Normally I have to play at least half of the race to understand when the rain's going to come, press restart and hope that I get the same weather, but you never know. Right, it hasn't got tragically wet, it's just getting a bit moister. I don't think you can call this moist, this is dripping, but it is proper wet. Let's just hope these clouds back away, because we're going to go in and these, look at the inters, they're done, absolutely done. So let's get into the pits, get these set of dry tyres on and see if we can make a run for the finish line without spinning it in the exit of the pit lane or in the first corners like we did yesterday. We don't need that. Into the pit lane, it's going to be wet. Not going to be able to stop at the end. Whoa, there we go. Right, we're going to take the hards. Yep. Gonna have to fill up. We're 2 minutes and 4 ahead, so those guys are still having incidents down that long Mulsanne straight. Six minutes to go, so we're not going to get onto the 7th lap, thankfully. They're all having a good old crash down the bottom end of the circuit there, aren't they? The AI don't know what to do with this race. I'm on to lap 6. Yeah, it's the 8. Oh, I've spun it. As soon as I touch the throttle coming out of the pits, I'm done. Facing the wrong way. As soon as I hit the exit, it was too much for these tyres. We've got the time. This could actually be, if we do it right, we could actually win this on the 6th lap. We might not need the 7th. What we have to do on this lap though is negotiate within the dry line extremities. We can't go off this dry line or we're done. So it will be a slower lap until we get onto the final one, which I know we will. The track really is starting to dry up. Got to watch these curbs on the left because that'll spin me. There we go. Kind of knew we'd lose it coming out the pits, but back up to 2 minutes 13 ahead. A substantial lead as the rain disappears off the rain radar. 8th gear, 188 mile an hour on a wet track. Never brave, never good, don't be clever. We slid off the circuit, spun it round again. Oh, come on. We'll show it you warts and all. The race, that is. Mr. Lopez went to the pits to take up his IMs. Now I've got a funny feeling, you know, that they haven't stopped for fuel, and that's where the problem is. That's why they're running so slowly. Have we just got a single chain of AI cars just trundling around all nose to tail? Is that what they've tragically done wrong? Is they've all refused to pit? Mr. Kamakami holds the fastest lap of 4:18.025, and that's what we're set up to try and beat on the final lap. It genuinely seems like the whole of the AI field has gone on a busman's holiday and decided to just have a laugh for the afternoon. Time's dropped to a more reasonable gap of 1:31, 1:32 now. So they are up to speed. They've decided to switch themselves back on. Because we just back off before we get to this corner, because this is a nightmare when it's wet. No rain on the rain radar, so this final lap should be an absolute blinder. We should be able to put in a lap somewhere around the 4:06, 4:07, I'm guessing. Looking at the out lap being a 4:06.746. Fastest lap of the races we've had so far is a 4:04. We've not actually dipped into a 3. As we said, this will be a 3-stopper, and it has been. Oh, that bugged then, didn't it? Oh my lord. Oh, I've spun it off the curbs. Oh, we're going into that old hysterical spinning moment. Absolutely terrific. Soaking wet tyres. There's me saying we're going to get the fastest lap on the last lap. I don't think so. It's still well too wet in certain places. Especially where you need to steal the time. The normal racing line at certain points are just horrifically wet. Well, let's see what we can do then. 1:36 left to go. The start-finish straight is still soaking where it's in shadow from the stands, where the sun doesn't hit the track. We're still braking early because we don't trust the tyres. All we need to try and do is beat that 4:18, that would be nice. Close. Let's have a good old solid twitch of the steering wheel then. Where are we? 8th gear now. 185 mile an hour. Going to brake just before our normal braking point. Get the car down because we messed up last time round. 3rd gear in. 3rd gear out, yes. We should get a time indicator. There we are in the purple, only just as the 2nd and 3rd place car, Mr. Cookabun and Mr. Manjano, go to the pits. Kawakami was on softs already, with 1:29 in the lead on the final lap of the race. Just don't see how we could be this far off that lap time if we just keep it on the track. No spills. We got lucky with the very first call on tyres. We then get lucky because the entire field decided to have fun in the rain. It rained a second time, which sort of fell into our hands and made us do another pit stop to give us this opportunity to put the fastest lap in. But see how wet it is. You can see the dry line formed with 3.9 seconds up, so that'll be a 4:14, which isn't particularly fast. But we are some 1:53 ahead of the field. But because of the amount of pit stops we've done, it's a relatively slow race. We're already over the 30 minutes, so as a grind, this isn't really good because of, well, we got better races at Sardinia and Tokyo, to be honest. But you've got to run this race occasionally if you're going to break up the grinds. So the field is all finished in the pits by the looks of it. If we look at the leaderboard there, everybody's second place, third place, all finished. They all finished at the Lender lap 6. We were the only car to make it to lap 7 in this rain affected race. See if we can have one lap where we don't spin. I said that too early. Oh, we had wheel spin there in 5th gear. Oof. Just get into the final straight. And we crossed the line to win the race, 1:53 seconds in advance of the remaining field, who've all stopped at the end of the previous lap. So it can't be 1:53, it's got to be the best part of 4 minutes ahead. Let's see what it says on the final results. Yes, everybody lapped. Fastest lap of the race goes to us with a 4:11.050. And a quick summary of the car. Well, I think the rain let it down. I think the driver let it down. But absolutely rock solid. We could have done something slightly different with the tune. We could have gone to medium tyres, probably dropped the turbo. It wouldn't have been any better on fuel and it would have been slower. So I think we actually did all right. As a grind car, yeah, it does the trick. It's something different. It's something amusing. It keeps the interest. Did it win all the money? Did we overtake under yellows? No, we got the 825. Happy days. Back up to the 17 million because we spent a fair bit on tuning that car, I must admit. And there we have it, with some audience participation, which I'm probably going to have to dub out of the final video because they couldn't control themselves. But it's a good looking car on the track. So thank you everybody. It's up to you what you do. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care.